Hello everyone. Recently I found this fantastic website which is called Waltheri's Go Pattern Search, and essentially this is the database of pro games. And what it offers to you, you can just input the moves and it gives you all the possible continuations for the games, like which moves in particular has been played by the professional players, and it can also search regardless of board orientation, which is also quite interesting. Once it hits the particular variation, essentially you are watching the game that has been played by professional players that starts with a position that you might be interested in. And yeah, let me just play a few more moves here. So this is quite, yeah. Okay, so from here, yeah, we see like, oh, even Chochikun played this position. This is so interesting. So Chochikun has been playing this with white stone. So let's have a look at this game. And this is the game. Yeah, here the board orientation is a little bit different because, again, because of the rotation, like I've been mentioned earlier, this may be like different. So here we can see like how the game has continued so far from here, and eventually we will hit the very end of the game. So the idea is following. What if you could have a program that would be responding to you using the moves taken from this database? And that's exactly what I have implemented recently, well, essentially yesterday. So I call this thing Fuseki Bot, and that's the GTP client. So GTP stands for Go Transfer Protocol. So that's the standard communication protocol that allows text-based interface engines to interact with the GUI. So the idea is that if you play a move versus that application. And if it responds to you, this means that you have played a professional move. And if the program passes, that means that you did not respond with it. Any professional move that has been available within the database. So this might be like sort of a test, like the quality of your moves. So this might be quite interesting. And if we have a look at the inner workings of this thing. So, well, not here in particular, but if we just say go here, and once we make a move, it makes the Ajax request. And here is the payload. So payload essentially is the sequence of moves that we are having so far, followed by the position where ones are empty spaces, twos are black stones, and fours are white stones. So this is the fetch move function. So essentially what it does, so there might be two scenarios. So if the land of the moves is not zero, which means that we already have a kind of position, not an empty board. And this case is for the empty board. So if the board is not empty, we need to specify the payload with the position and specifying the sequence of the moves. We can take the moves from the move list that we are updating along the way. And also the position is essentially just stringifying the board array, and the board array is already prepared here to be exactly the size and the values for both empty, black, and white to be correlating with those values that I use within the API. Let me quickly show you how this actually works. So if I do Python 3 and Fuseki Bot, we are in the GTP territory now, so I can list commands, for instance. Doesn't do much, but anyway, that's something that GUI sends to. So show board. This is it. GUI also sends the board size 19, and if there would be another board size, it's going to just fail. And now let's say I want to play with Blackstone's Q16, and I want to show board, and this is the move that has been played. And now I just ask it to generate move for white stones. it does generate C4. So let's show board. And that's the response. So yeah, quite a nice response. And it can also generate move for black as well. So it can generate moves for both sides. So say you don't know what would be the proper response played by the pros one day in the past, then you can just generate move for opponent and see that, yeah, so how the game will continue. So eventually, if you just do infinite generate move for both sides, you would end up by watching a random pro game, which is cool on its own, isn't it? Okay, so finally, let me demonstrate how this can be connected to the GUI. I'm using Sabaki GUI. So here within the manage engines, I just specify Python 3 as the execute program, and then the path here is the path to absolute path to the Fuseki Bot that I've just shown you. That I've just showed you how it works. Okay, so once we have that, I can just enable Fuseki Bot. It loads properly. Yeah, I should change the name because it's no longer called Wally actually. So yeah, but anyway, so now you can do, well, let's set it both as black player and as white player. And for now, let's say I just try to play a few moves on my own. So it responds with a random move. And again, if I just say I take back and I ask to generate move again, it now generates another move. Okay, if I take back and ask it again, well, there are not many options for the second move though, but anyway, it plays sort of randomly. So another move, and say I don't like this one, so I try to generate another one. Okay, this is something that I'm more or less familiar with. And yeah, okay, so what to play here? As a noob human player, I would have played somewhere like here, and that was the pro move. Yeah, so one day pros has played that. That's amazing. So how would I respond to this? Well, the Joseki variation would be to play here. And he passes because pros do not play that way. Okay, so I can try some more. So let's say like this. Okay, this is possible. So can I block? And again, this is not the pro move. So pros are not playing that way. So maybe taking a big place. And again, that's the mistake. So well, maybe okay. I just try a couple more. Uh, not the pro move. So I may find myself in a situation, this happens quite quickly, where I don't know how to develop properly further on. In this case, I can just ask it to generate the move for the opposite side. And this is how the continuation actually goes. And already it sort of starts to fight here. So essentially, this is the beginning of the game already. So if you are encountering this particular situation on board, then yeah, we can rely on this particular thing. There is one limitation. As soon as capture happens on the board, queues on the board, this Fuseki bot would stop playing, it would pass. The reason for that is quite simple. The original Wally program that I was using for the board representation, all this stuff, was able to handle captures properly. But when I have adapted that to match the particular board representation and stone encoding for this API that allows to fetch the moves from the database. After that, and again, so what am I doing now? Pressing F10 to generate move for each side, and essentially we are in the territory of one of the thousands of games there. So I'm not sure who's playing against who, but anyway, this is the pro game. So the original Wally program was capable of handling captures, but this version doesn't have that option. So as soon as capture queues on board, it would stop, and yeah, that variation would be like Fuseki is over. Well, obviously Fuseki was over long time ago, and yeah, in the middle game, as we're listening, this game started with the fight here. But anyway, But anyway, still, really lots of moves are being played because we know that capture, like if capture occurs, that's already definitely not the Fuseki phase. So since the bot name is Fuseki Bot, it's, well, I think it might be used for just practicing with the opening essentially. So if you can find the discontinuations for the certain sequence of moves that good in the start of the game, I think in that case, yeah, that's just good enough already. So yeah, and still, since we don't have any capture yet, it still just goes and goes and goes further on. So by just starting this over and over again from scratch, and by just generating moves for each of the site. Okay, so we have the very first capture, and after capture, the program passes because yeah, the internal board representation is not capable of handling these captures, so it just stops here. If it could have just show the game to the very end, but yeah, you can do this exactly. If you're interested in watching the game, it's better to go to the original website and find it there to see who's playing, to see the results. It's not really about like uh, serving as a game database. It's more likely to serve as the Fuseki ideas and plans, like how to proceed in the opening. So, hey guys, this is it from my side. Let me know if you found this little piece of software useful. That would be a link to the source code in the description below the video. So, if you have Python and if you have GTP client program like Sabaki GUI, this is cross-platform by the way, so you can also run on Windows. I'm on Linux, and yeah, so you can use this sort of a thing and try to have fun with it. Yeah, this is it from my side. Thanks for watching and see you later.